Hi, my name's Kelly Clement, and I'm the president here at MetaStock. You know, as we release new versions of MetaStock, we always try and look at what we could do to help our users more efficiently use MetaStock. And that's what we've done with MetaStock 20. There's even a feature that I'm so excited about that I've wanted for MetaStock in years. So there's a lot to see, so let's go ahead and jump right in to MetaStock 20.
Now, the first one we're going to talk about is the Enhanced Power Console. The Enhanced Power Console gives you ways to navigate around in MetaStock and make your life so much easier. It's going to allow the workflows of what you do on a daily basis to be so much easier. And I'll show you that here in just a second. We have some improved chart functions I'll take you through. Improved QuoteCenter. Now, what we've done in QuoteCenter, I just love. It has given us a feature in MetaStock that I have wanted for years. And I'm going to show you that here in just a few minutes. Improved OptionScope. Some very cool integration with XENITH that you get with MetaStock RT. Greg Morris's JCPR system, which is an awesome system for trading the markets using candlesticks that we'll take you through. And then finally, MetaStock RT in offline mode and how you can run that in offline mode. So let's go ahead and jump right in. Let's first talk about the Enhanced Power Console. The Enhanced Power Console basically takes and integrates the Power Console inside of MetaStock. Now, why is that good for you? Well, let's jump right in and show you why it's good for you. So I have MetaStock open here. When I'm looking at this, basically what you're seeing here on the left-hand side, you're seeing the Power Console now as a sidebar inside of MetaStock. So anytime you need to get something, you don't have to go click the Power Console button and then come down and try and access it from here. Everything you want to do is built right into MetaStock. So if I wanted to open up a chart, let's say IBM, I'll just type in IBM here and click Open Chart. And you'll see the Power Console will slide out, and then I can go right to my chart and what I want to analyze. Now, all that is right here. So we've got Chart, QuoteCenter, Explorer, System Test, Forecast, OptionScope. But let's spend here just a moment here on Chart. So again, if I wanted to just type something in, I could have all my settings as I normally would, but then it just slides right out as I open up my symbols. Now, with this, you can also do a couple of very cool things. One, if I click on this, and then I click this Pin tab right here, what it'll do is it'll pin it and keep it open inside of MetaStock. Now, I can resize that if I want to, so it's not so big. But let's say if I now go and say open up another chart, you'll notice instead of sliding away, it stays right there for me, which makes it easy for me to be able to just keep opening symbols if I want to. And again, you can resize this. If I come over here and hold this, I can just click and scroll and make this as big or as small as I want to. Now, the other thing you'll notice is when I pin it, instead of taking up space over here on the side, it's actually just going to put the tabs right here at the bottom. So now I have my QuoteCenter tab, Explorer, all that right there at the bottom. If I unpin this, you'll notice it moves it back to the side. So that way it makes it very easy for me to be able to get to the information I want. Now, another big benefit of this is, let's say you create another layout. So if I click the plus sign here, you'll notice my new layout has its own Power Console on the side here. In older versions, you had to have one Power Console and you're always wondering which layout it might be associated to. Well, you don't have to worry about that anymore because it's now right here built into the layout for you. If I have this open and I have this pinned and I save a layout, well, then it'll save it just like that. So you can have it always open whenever you open MetaStock. It's a really great integration in how to do it. Now, if you don't want it over here on the left-hand side, if you want it somewhere else, well, that's okay too. What we can do is we just click on this, click Pin, and once it's pinned, I can actually drag it and move it around to another spot on the screen. So if I click it, you'll see the whole Power Console kind of moves here. So I could bring it over here and I could put it on the right-hand side. And now it's integrated into the right-hand side. I just unpin. And now it's over on this side and I can come over here and access it from here. So if you want to move it again, just click the pin. I'm going to move it back. You can also move it to the bottom if you wanted to. I prefer it on the side personally. It makes it a little more easy to access. Okay, so now we've got it on the side. Some other things that you can do here is if you don't want it to have the words in here, if you prefer just a little icon, what I can go do is go up to Tools, go to Options, and then I can uncheck this Show Caption on Power Console tabs. If I click that OK, you can see it just turns into the little tabs, a lot like what you're used to with the regular Power Console. So you can turn those off and on, and you can see it just accesses it right as you click on it. Okay, so let's go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and turn those back on for now. So I'll just go ahead and turn those on, click OK, and I have my tabs back. This makes your life in navigating MetaStock so much better because you're able to get to from point A to point B so much quicker and easier and just get to that information. Okay, so you have the new Enhanced Power Console in each container window. So that means in each layout, whichever layout again, it's going to be right in there. So it's very easy for you to access that. It can be docked to any side of the container, which is what we talked about. So you can move it up, down, top, bottom, wherever you want it. Navigation quicker and easier. You can pin them or dock them for easier access. The Power Console tabs can be displayed with or without text. And when you resize the Power Console, you can resize those tabs when opened. So like I showed you how you can resize it. So this is a great update to MetaStock 20. I really like the workflow and how it keeps me right in MetaStock without having to go other places. So that's our first update, is that enhanced Power Console. Here's our some of the charting functionality that we've added. So we've had people ask for the ability to simplify fractions inside a chart. Now, when would you use fractions? Well, really, this is going to be more commodities traders that are going to use this function. But you can see here, I have a large fraction, and I'd like to see that simplified. All you have to do is go into the y-axis properties, click the Simplify Fractions button, just as you see there, click Apply, and it'll simplify down the fraction as you see there. So it makes it easier to be able to see the data that you want to when you're trading commodities in a more reasonable way. Then the other one, this is a big one that people have asked for, is when you're putting on an expert. So if I come back to MetaStock and I put on an expert, let's just put on anything here. Let's say we put on the MACD. I click Attach. Now, when I go back in and I want to attach something else, there wasn't really a way to know what you had attached before. So if I go back to Attach, you'll see it when I come back into the expert window, you'll see it is bolded here and highlighted by default that I have the MACD attached to my chart. So it's just a small little update, but it's a big one to know, hey, this is what's attached to that chart, or I do have something attached to that chart, and a quick, easy way to see it. Now let's show you also how to open up the simplified fractions. So I'm just going to open up Crude Light here, and you'll see if I come in here and I want to look at it in fractions. So if I come down here and change it to fractions, and then click Apply, you can see I have it in fractions. Now, if it comes down to a point where that fraction should be simplified, I can just click Apply, Simplify Fractions, and it would simplify it. Now, it's not at a point right now where it could be simplified, so it's not simplifying it. But if it were, then it would do that. So that's how you can set that to simplify your fractions. You can see there right again how that action works. So some very nice, quick, easy, enhanced charting functionality to make your life a little bit better when you're sitting inside MetaStock and doing some of the trading that you might be doing with commodities. Now, QuoteCenter Update. Now, this is one I'm really excited about because it really gives me some things that I can do inside MetaStock that I haven't been able to do before. And so I love this one. I'm really excited to show it to you. Let's go back over to MetaStock here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to close all the charts that I have open here. And I'm going to go over to my QuoteCenter tab. Again, just right there, right inside MetaStock, makes it so much easier. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to open up a list here of the Dow 30. So I have the Dow 30 here, just like I would normally inside when I'm loading up a list. Okay, again, you can expand this if you want to move it. You can pin it just like we were doing before. So I'm just going to open up this list of 30 stocks. If I click Open QuoteCenter, what it'll do is now by default, it actually opens up inside of MetaStock instead of outside MetaStock. Now, you can still take it outside of MetaStock if you want to. So if I come up here and I choose the float, it would pop it out and I can move it to another screen if I wanted to. So you still have the same option to do that. Now, what's the reason for having it actually inside MetaStock? Well, if I click any of these symbols that I have here, so if I double click Apple here, you'll notice what it does is it minimizes and takes QuoteCenter and puts it into its own, what we call frame. And then over here, it'll open up the chart and put it to the side for you. So now what I can do is I can just click on any of the symbols that are inside of QuoteCenter, or I can highlight it and click the open chart button, either one. But then I can quickly open the charts that I want to right inside of MetaStock without having to go and open up charts. Using lists suddenly just became that much easier in MetaStock. Now, one of the things that you can do too, and one of the things I really wanted, was what we call this compact mode, or compact view. So if I click this, what it'll do is it'll just give me the symbol, the last tick, and the last price on whether it's up or down. And then I can still do the same thing. I can just click on any of the symbols and go through it. So now what I have in MetaStock is I have an embedded quote list that lets me quickly go through the securities I want to look at very quickly. This is a big, big update for me. I've always wanted the ability to just have a list right inside MetaStock, just a quick grid that I can go through and get to the symbols I want to look at very quickly and just click them and open them one by one so I can do my analysis. If you like to use lists and you like to look at grids, this update is for you because, again, this has been something that I've wanted for a very long time. Now, again, I can expand this out, and then what I can do is I can expand it if I want to see all the data. If I want to, I can minimize it down. I can go back down to compact mode, set the screen size to whatever I want there. But now I can do this. Now, another big plus to this is I can save this now as part of a layout. So QuoteCenter actually becomes part of a layout as well, which is a big thing. So if you're saving lists, you're doing things like that, and you have this kind of embedded quote list, bam, you can just save it. So that's what we're going to do is come up here and go File, Save As. And then what I'm going to do is change it to a layout here. Make sure you're set to layout. And then I'm just going to give it a name. Okay. So I've got QC Demo up here, but I'm going to call this one QC Demo 1. Okay. And then if I click Save, that is now saved. So if I close this, it is now part of my layouts. And you can see I have QC Demo 1, QC Demo. So if I open up this, it's going to be embedded right inside of MetaStock and be part of it. And this has been a big thing because QuoteCenter's kind of always lived on its own, as well as OptionScope, but now they're part of the MetaStock workflow and the environment and making it so much better for you to be able to get to the information. Now, again, you can come in here and you can customize what you want to see. So all your settings are still there. They're still available to you. But this is just easy now. It's just easy to quickly go through a list, cycle through, look at your securities, and see what you want to see. Big update. Now, again, let me just show you if you wanted to float this out. Again, I just right click on it, click float. And now you can see it's its own window. I can move it to any screen I want to. I'll take it out of compact mode. Boom. So just quick, click, easy, get to the information you want to again. Then if I want to put it back, I can just right click on it, click dock again, and it'll put it right back into MetaStock for me. Awesome update. Again, I'm so excited about this ability to have this list right inside MetaStock and cycle through it. Just a quick list, get to the information I need and want. Okay, those are our QuoteCenter updates. Again, acts like a chart window where it can be docked in, can be floated or docked, can be pinned, can act as an embedded quote window in MetaStock, part of a layout. I covered all this. I just want to make sure I got it all. Contains a compact view. Yep. And allows you to quickly cycle through the list. So that's all those updates there. So the same kind of thing with OptionScope. Okay. So in OptionScope, you can now, let's go down to OptionScope here. And if I wanted to open up Apple, and we'll just do a couple of these. We'll just choose some options. do all, and I'll click an open up OptionScope. And what it'll do is it'll do the exact same thing. It'll stay embedded right inside MetaStock. I can kind of dock it to the side. I can grab it so it sits off to the side, or I can float it out. Whatever you want to do, let's grab it. And I didn't dock it inside MetaStock. There we go. Okay, so there you can see it. Now it's docked inside of MetaStock, so I can analyze that. There is a compact view for this as well. So if you have it small, you can just get to the top information, calls, last bid, ask, or you can expand it out if you want to see all the information. So again, we just wanted to make it so you could get to that information that you wanted to see quickly and analyze it in such a way that it's easier to get to. So these updates are just awesome. The ability to have OptionScope QuoteCenter either outside or inside makes it just a better workflow overall. So again, the same kind of thing, acts like a chart window, can be floated or docked, can be pinned, can be saved as part of a layout. Very cool. Okay, so now this one is for MetaStock RT only. Okay, this is an update where using information can be very beneficial. So let's jump out of here for just a second. Let's close out this. What you're going to notice down here is you have this X that looks like the XENITH logo. If I click this, it's going to pop open some information that I can just launch from XENITH right from MetaStock rather than having to go to a separate app. So if I wanted news on Apple, well, let's click on news. Okay, there we go. So there's my news for Apple. So it just, like I said, it just pops up right on your screen, and then you can analyze the news for Apple as you're analyzing and trading it. Okay, you can also right click to get that same information. So let's say I wanted a company overview. Well, let's go ahead and pop it open there. And there we can see our overview of Apple. So now I can look at this and analyze it, look at all the fundamentals, all the information that's available on it, and go through all the wealth of information that's available without having to go through and search it through the separate app. It'll just pull it up right inside of MetaStock for you. So this is a great integration because it really allows you to just quickly click on and get to whatever information that you want to without having to go and search for it. So like this one is quote history. Okay, so you can see that all the quote history for it. And then there's also the option for to launch the economic monitor. If you wanted to see the economic monitor, all that's available just by clicking right inside of MetaStock. So then you can see all the economic data and information coming up. I like that update because if I want to see what the news is going on, boom, I just click on news, get to news, rather than having to go over to XENITH, search for it, pull it up and look at it. I can just get it right from the chart I'm looking at. Okay, so this is the integration with MetaStock XENITH. Again, for MetaStock RT only. If you have DC and you wanted this, you would need to upgrade to get this feature. From any chart, you can launch a corresponding app related to your symbol. Right click or choose the toolbar. Quote history, company overview, monitor, economic monitor, and news are the apps that you can load right out of MetaStock for this. Okay, next we have the Greg Morris Japanese Candle Pattern Recognition add-on. This add-on is very, let's say, robust in the way that it can help you analyze the market. This was developed by a gentleman named Greg Morris, who wrote this book called Candlestick Charting Explained. Now, he didn't only just write this book, he's also been a major contributor on various news networks. He managed billions of dollars in money for a firm, for a hedge fund. Very well renowned in the candlestick world in giving information about candlesticks. And you can see his book here, Candlestick Charting Explained. And a lot of what you get in the book, Candlestick Charting Explained, is built right into MetaStock through the research that he did. So what it does is, it gives, well, here's what's included in it. First of all, you get 3 indicators. You get the candle trend indicator, which helps measure the trend and the strength of the trend of whatever you're looking at right on your chart. You get the support and resistance. Now, he's very big on support and resistance, and we'll talk about that in just a moment. filtering, why he filters and what filtering is. And then you get his systems included with it as well, which is all done through an expert, several scans and back tests, and a few templates. Okay. Now, what he's done is he looks for patterns that are multi-bar patterns. If you look at a lot of candlestick patterns, a lot of them might be single bar patterns. So you have something that's happening on that day where you're getting some great information about it. But through his research, he really preferred multiple bar patterns. So all of these include multiple bars. They're not just one bar that's creating these patterns. So all 36 of these patterns are included. And what he does is he actually went and through his research and what you'll read in his book and what you'll get out of the add-on here that's included is you're getting all of this statistical analysis that he did to find how well they performed against groups of stocks. So you'll see he'll have a pattern name, he'll have a type to it, the Japanese name, if a trend is required to go along with the pattern, if it requires a confirmation, and then he'll look at how many times it won, how many times it lost, and give an average net profit loss, and do all this analysis in the background. So when you get it, it's doing all this analysis and popping it out. So you can see pattern statistics from 7,275 common stocks with over 14.6 million days of data and how it performs and what it does. So it kicks out a lot of information for you. Now, one of the big things that he does first, and we're going to get into some of this analysis and look at it on charts, but what you'll see is he looks at a lot of support and resistance, because if you're looking at a candle pattern, and then you apply support and resistance, you'll generally see a better result because you have a combination of support and resistance and a pattern. So bulking those together makes it a lot more powerful. So JCPR automatically does support and resistance for you. It'll plot these support and resistance lines automatically for you and then give you the values of the support and resistance right outside of the commentary. And so you'll be able to see all this on the screen. Okay. So let's just go over to a chart here really quickly. And let me pull up JCPR really quick here. So I've got an example loaded up here of what kind of we're going to be looking at. So these lines right here that you see on the chart are the support and resistance lines that he's talking about. Okay. So over here, you'll see support and resistance and what those values are and how far away those numbers are from the close, what percentage away from the close those are. So right now, so this resistance right here, you can see, and you can come over here and see the value and what it is from the close. So this helps immensely in analyzing and looking at the specific example that you're looking at and saying, okay, is it close to support and resistance? What's happening? And we can see that this example, we are very close to support at the moment. Okay. Okay. So that's the first aspect that he does. Next, he will also filter. The way that he filters and finds opportunities here is he looks at the percent D, the stochastic percent D, and looks for it to be when you have a bearish reversal pattern, you want the percent D to be above 80. If you're looking at a bullish one, you want it to be below 20. What this add-on will do is it'll give you a score of how well it thinks that this is going to do, and it will incorporate the filtering right into your scoring. So if I come back over here to the chart, you can see we have the percent D up here. Okay, so what he's looking for is it above 80 or below 20, depending on the circumstance. So right now, we have a bearish pattern. So we want it here above the 80, which would be better in our filter overall. Okay, so if I'm looking at filter, we have a score of 10, maximum of 40, because it is crossed below. So it's kind of taken out some of our filtering score. So what he does, so first two checks, support and resistance. So our score for support and resistance is 25 out of 25 because resistance is through the pattern body. Okay. Filtered which is the percent D here, is 10 out of 40 because we're crossing below. Okay, so volume, we don't have a good volume confirmation here. Statistics, okay, that's that background statistics we talked about that it does in the background for us, is 3 out of 15. And then breakdown, yes, okay, we've broken down, so that is a 5 out of 5. So overall, because of that overall score, we have a 43% chance of success. That's kind of how the scoring works and the filtering works as we go through it. So as part of this advanced candle pattern recognition again, okay, so it automatically incorporates all the statistics we talked about, incorporates multiple pattern analysis, it incorporates the trend of the security automatically as part of that, incorporates the technical signals in its scoring methodology, and automatically incorporates price-based support and resistance on your charts. Okay, so all that ties into being able to see quickly what's going on with your trade and look at the chance of success. Okay, so it makes it really easy to quickly identify using support and resistance and the expert advisors. Now, if you want to know what these different patterns are, so for example, we have a 3 inside down pattern here included. So if you want to know what that is, what you can do is you can go into the MetaStock help. So we'll just go into MetaStock help here. We'll bring this over on the screen. And let's say I want to know what this 3 inside down pattern is. Well, all I have to do is go down to included systems and tools, and you can learn about all the different included systems here. There's a lot of different systems that have been included, but we're looking at the Greg Morris Japanese Candle Pattern Recognition. We can go down here and look at the included patterns. Let's look at that. And then we're going to find the 3 inside down. If we come down here, we have 3 inside down and up. Okay, and we can just look at the commentary here and read about it right here. So the 3 inside up and 3 upside down patterns are confirmations for the Harami pattern. So it's based on the Harami. The first 2 days are exactly the same as the Harami. The third day is a confirming close with respect to bullish or bearish case. So you can just read through this, learn about the pattern, how it's analyzed, and then look at your score here to see if that's a trade that you wanted to take. So this one, 43% chance, maybe not great, right? So it's really easy to quickly analyze these. Let's maybe see if I have a few different examples up here. Okay, so this one doesn't have a current pattern on it. So it's not really giving us any good trade opportunity, but it gives us the support and resistance levels. But I could go back and analyze any of the past signals to see how they performed and what was happening. So back here, an engulfing minus pattern was happening. Okay, so we can go through this. Now, how do we identify opportunities? That's always the big question when we're scanning, right? When we're looking for things. So it does have built-in explorations. So I just come over here to the enhanced power console, and I'm just going to search for candles. Okay, so here you have the candlestick JCPR. So those are the ones that are related to the candle pattern recognition. And if you hover over them, it'll tell you what it's looking for. So this one is looking for the pattern recognition scan for reversal patterns, and all patterns are filtered against the 14-period stochastic percent D. The confirmation requires the candle pattern occurred on the previous bar, and the price moved in the direction expected by the pattern on the current bar, up for bullish patterns and down for bearish patterns. Okay, so it's going to tell you. So if you see the F, that means it's filtered. And if you look at the one without the F, that means it is not filtered. Okay. Now the R here means I've run a scan on this previously and I have a report. So we're just going to look at that for now. So let's go ahead and launch my report and just show you what it's putting out here. Okay. So principal financial. Okay, you can see here that this one is a sell. The score is 89, and filtered. What you want is if you're on the bullish side, you want it up to plus 40, and on the bearish side, a minus 40. Okay, so this one would be a high score with a good filter and our close price. Okay, so that's kind of the way that this all pulls together. So we can rank on any of these and look at them. Score of 80, filtered 40. Okay, so that one's got a good score. And then we can just go through these. So 33 score and 10, not so much, right? So we can kind of throw out these ones that really don't match what we're looking for. I can rank on any of the columns. I can rank on the scores. So let's look. So Principal Financial had the top score, Monster Beverage, the next one, Emerson. So all you'd have to do is just open any of these up. So let's just say Cigna here. If I click Cigna, all you'd have to do is click that. We could right click then, apply our template. And you can do either the clean chart or the filtered. I like to look at the filtered. Apply that onto our chart, and it'll highlight the patterns for you and everything that's going on with that chart. And we could go into the expert commentary. Okay, let's turn that commentary on, and then it'll just calculate what exactly it is we're seeing on this chart. Okay, so it's very easy to go through that workflow of finding the trade, going right to it, looking at support and resistance, looking at the pattern. You can analyze the pattern through the help. So here we have a 3 outside up pattern. Okay, so it does, here's our score again, 15, 25, 10 out of 40, 0, 15, 3 out of 15. And then you can see exactly what you're getting out of it. So easy way to quickly identify and look at these signals. So let's maybe look at one more just to see here. So let's go back to Explore. Let's go back to reports here. Okay, and then you can see all of these reports and go through and analyze them individually. Okay, so JCPR is a great add-on, really gives you a lot of power. Let's go back to our comments. The other thing that I did not cover in here is you do have backtesting with it as well. So you can backtest and kind of go through that. Scan, backtest. So you have 2 templates, 1 expert, 4 explorations and system tests, 3 indicators, all to help you out and get you all the information that you need with candle pattern analysis. So great multiple part pattern. This add-on was a $400 value included right inside of MetaStock as part of the upgrade. Now, here's what we've covered and here's what we've gone through. We've gone through the enhanced power console, which makes it so much easier to get around MetaStock, get into what you want to do. Very, very easy. We've improved the chart functions, those expert advisor and the simplifying fractions. QuoteCenter, again, I showed you one of the biggest features that I love is that embedded quote list where I can just click on my charts, get right to them. Such a great upgrade there. I really, really love that feature. The integrated OptionScope, the XENITH integration where, bam, you can just get news, you can get the quotes, you can get your overview, launch the economic monitor, all from your chart and get to that information very quickly. The Greg Morris JCPR system, which is a great system for helping you trade. And then finally, MetaStock RT offline mode. And so what that means is if you don't have XENITH and you want to be able to run MetaStock RT, you can just get the maintenance ID, which is a minimal fee. And what it'll allow you to do is run MetaStock RT in offline mode and import local data in for analysis is what that feature is. So that's a great feature that we've added if you want to be able to run it offline and you don't want to have a current data subscription, but you have data you want to analyze, you can do that now. Okay, so that's everything that we've covered today. Awesome updates to MetaStock 20 and what it gives you. Here's how to contact us about the upgrade if you're interested in it. Just give us a call at 800-882-3040, international 801-506-0900. Reach out to us at metastock.com/sales chat. Our sales guys are amazing. They can answer any of the questions you have about MetaStock 20. metastock.com or email us, sales@metastock.com. I hope you've enjoyed this presentation and I hope it's given you a good overview of what MetaStock 20 is, how it works, and how it can help you in your trading. Thank you so much for joining me. Successful trading, everyone.